Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, your source for Ford news update and information, including your Bronco Sport information on a Wednesday for our Built Wild Wednesday episode. And we're going to cover some things today. I'm really excited about today's video because there are some great deals to be had on the 2024 Ford Bronco on dealer lots right now. We're going to talk about that later in the episode, so stay tuned for that. I think you'll really hopefully get something out of it and something else you need to take note of when you're going to that dealer as well that you need to make sure you're aware of before buying some of those Broncos, so you can make sure you take it home the day you buy it. So anyway, let's start off. First of all, make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of these videos. And what I'm starting to do is start off these videos with going over scheduling information. If you have a 2025 Ford Bronco order in or Bronco Sport order in, I want to go through the scheduling information for this week. Now, again, this is information for scheduling notes just for this week. It'll be different next week. Next week is a start of new allocations. We'll get into that in just a little bit in the video. But let's first talk about what's going on this week for scheduling for the Bronco Sport. So there is currently only 170 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Bronco Sport, and they are scheduling at the Hermosillo plant for the month of March for production dates. This is cleanup scheduling, so dealer would need to have an allocation available. And what they want to do is they want to clean up and make sure they go into the next week with with all their allocations being used, so they can start fresh. And so they're basically telling dealers, if you have an allocation available that hasn't been used yet, here's your best availability: is the Big Bend trim with the Black Diamond off-road package. They have availability for that wheel. There's something else about that package that they have the availability because of parts to be able to fulfill more of those orders. Now, very limited exhausted availability means they've already fulfilled all their capacity, what they have for parts for the 17-inch carbonized gray high gloss wheel that's on the Big Bend, that's standard, and the tire that's also standard on the Big Bend, as well as the black appearance package, which is optional on the Big Bend. Those are all, because of parts or whatever, they're pretty much already scheduled out the month of March for them. So at this point, they're saying those are going to be difficult to get scheduled. But if you want the Black Diamond off-road package, there's your kicker right there. So there's the Bronco Sport. Now, moving to the Bronco for scheduling, there's currently only 810 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank for the Bronco, and they are scheduling. The plant will be down for 2 weeks in March, the first 2 weeks, I believe, but they are scheduling for the weeks of, it says 310 through 324, and I think actually 310 is the week they're down, but let's just say 317 or the week of 324. They are scheduling, again, cleanup scheduling, just like with the Bronco Sport. You need an allocation. If a dealer has an allocation, Ford wants to clean up that allocation and go into next week ready to go for those April production and the new allocation set up for dealers for February. So because of that, very limited loss availability for these items, probably because they've already scheduled out most of their month. And so the very limited exhaust availability is on the 17-inch gray painted alloy wheel that's standard on the Big Bend, as well as the 17-inch black aluminum beadlock capable wheel that's included in the black appearance package when you order the Sasquatch package. And that's for the Big Bend, Outer Banks, or the Badlands. And then also very limited exhausted for the Strop version and the Raptor version. So, and the reason some of those you'll see that this week that they'll say they're very limited exhausted, and you won't see that next week, is because they pretty much already planned out most of the production. They don't want to help dealers fulfill any available allocations left over, and they want to schedule out to finish out what they can actually build for those 2 weeks of production. So there's that. Now let's go over real quickly, in case you didn't watch last night's live stream, some of the different things for this month coming up. So next week is the new set of allocations for February's dealers allocation for those April build dates. So they are going to be scheduling for both the Bronco Sport and the Bronco for 5 weeks of production, the weeks of March 31st to the weeks of April 28th. And for the Bronco, they actually, I'll go through those numbers in just a second. But they are scheduling both Bronco and Bronco Sport for those dates. And on the Bronco Raptor as well, they will be scheduling for 5 weeks for production in April as well. Now, let's talk about some of the breakdown for this. On the Bronco Sport, of the production capacity, they're going to build, it says in here, Big Bend is going to be 27.4%, Outer Banks 30%, and Badlands 15%. You might just like with me, I'm doing the math. That doesn't add up, Tim. Well, the rest of that percentage are probably going to be your Big Ben with the black diamond or Big Ben with the black or the black appearance package. So, or Outer Banks with black appearance package. So that's probably the breakdown. So that Big Ben's probably not all the Big Bens. It's probably Big Bens, with that are just a standard Big Ben. Now on the Bronco, it had its own page back here. On the Bronco, let's go over the breakdown on that. For the base trim, 7% of the production will be base, 26% will be Big Ben, 25% will be Outer Banks, 26% will be Badlands, 10% Heritage Edition, 2% Strop, 4% Raptor. And then of that too, it says Black Diamond package will comprise of 8%. Freewheeling will be 1%. And then the Raptor black appearance package, it says 1.5%. Black appearance package, which is available on several different trim levels, is 20%. And then Sasquatch package, 47% will be Sasquatch. Two-door version is going to be 6%. 2.7 EcoBoost is 55%. So 55%. 2.7. We don't have the breakdown for the 2.3 and the 3.0. Well, the 3.0 we know on it's a Raptor is 4%, so we can figure out the rest of that. There will be about 40% 2.3, right? Now the on the tops there is some confusion on some of this. Some of this stuff is depending on your option. You want to look at the option that you chose for on your order. So the hard top, carbonized gray, molded in color. Or the dual top if you get both. So basically the carbonized gray painted tops, 51% of the production will be for that carbonized gray painted top, basically. And then 5% for the body color painted hard top, or you get the dual top, right? Either one. That's option 43U, 43A. And then that's 5%. Also 5% for option 43V, 43B, which is the shadow black painted hardtop or the dual top configuration. Now they also break down to another one, which is the black shadow black painted hardtop is 15% of the production, or the dual top. So it's 43J or 43D, and then the body color painted hardtop or the dual top, 43T, 43G is 8%. So I think the ones that are 5% are your two-door configuration and the others are your four-door, but I'm not sure. Just look at your option code for that to know for sure on that. So another thing I want to go do before we go outside and do a lot walk here and go over some of the different things for 24 Broncos out there and some great savings on those is I want to go through some changes to the order guide. So at the beginning of this month, they did make some changes to the order guide. I think they have, I know in the Bronco Sport, it was just some corrections that actually I made them aware of, which I'm like, I felt good about that. So on the Outer Banks, as well as the Outer Banks tech package, as well as standard on the Badlands, the order guide before actually said that there was power fold mirrors. There is not power fold mirrors on the Bronco Sport. So they corrected that. It now says manual fold mirrors for the Outer Banks tech package and manual fold mirrors standard on the Badlands. So that was something that I found and let them know about. And so they said they'd have it corrected on the next update, which they did at the beginning of this month. Now on the Bronco, there was a couple different corrections that they made. One of them was to the Raptor optional equipment. When you look at option 43T, that hardtop body color painted, they actually updated and they added a note here that says not available with shadow black unless the Raptor code orange appearance package is selected. So they added that to that option 43T for the black paint or the body color painted top. They also added a note to the Raptor code orange appearance package because of that change on the other. That's option 51A. They added the available with shadow black. So they added that in there because I think they had that omitted and not in there. So they wanted to let people know that. Also, I noticed on the color offerings, they did change the description on the seats for the freewheeling package to say sunset weave with black onyx now instead of black onyx because it does have the sunset weave on the cloth seats. So there you go. That's all the stuff I want to make sure you're aware of. And we are going to make reference to a recall out there. And I don't know if I covered the recall last week or not, but there is a recall that's out on the rear shocks It's the ones with the reservoir that's attached to the damper. And I think everybody feels like that's probably has to do with the Haas 2.0 suspension, which is that's your Sasquatch suspension, as well as standard on your Badlands. And they don't reference whether or not it's the Haas affects the Haas 3.0, because they do have a reservoir, but they're the Fox shocks. So I think they are separate. But that is a recall going on right now on 24 model year. Now that recall does end. It goes through July 23rd of 2024. So vehicles 2024 model year that were built July 23rd or earlier in the year are affected by that recall. Any Bronco that was built after July 23rd, 2024 will not be affected by that recall, as well as your 25 model years. So that's something to be aware of when you go to your dealer looking for great deals and some Broncos, because some of those Sasquatches, some of those Badlands may not be able to be test driven or being taken for delivery if you want to buy one. So keep that in mind. But we also talk about it in our lot walk as well. So let's go on outside and let's take a look at some of our Broncos and the great deals available on the 2024 model year. All right, we're out here on our lot right now looking at, we got Broncos behind us, got a whole row and a half of full-size Broncos back here, 2024 model year. And I wanted to kind of go over some of the great deals that you can find on a Bronco. Now I think is the best time to get into a Bronco. If you've wanted to and you've been holding off, man, they're just so expensive. Now is the time, folks. Huge rebates going on right now. They just added like $2,000 in rebates in about every Bronco trim level across the line. So let me turn this camera around and talk about this a little bit. Now, every dealer is going to be a little different what they carry, what they have on their lot. We have, like I said, a whole row down here, mostly black diamond trim level, and we have a reason behind that. We knew that the 2.7 liter is a very sought out motor that people want, and the black diamond was the very cheapest that you could build and still get the 2.7. So all these black diamonds you'll see down here, they're basically a standard black diamond with the 2.7 and the black painted hardtop. And so we just stocked up on those. But we do have some others that even have even more rebates on them. So like I said, all the black diamonds, Big Bends also, those all have $2,500 in rebates on them. So Big Bend, Black Diamond, Outer Banks, $2,500 off rebates. That's just the rebates off on that. Plus you could do other discounts. Now we have our Black Diamonds priced $5,000 off. If you're a Jeep Conquest, it's $7,000. So if you look on our website, do note that our pricing on our website does include the Jeep Conquest. So just keep that in mind. You'll have to add $2,000 to the price if you're not a Jeep owner. So $5,000 off still if you don't include that off on all those. So we're doing the $2,500 rebate and another $2,500 discount. Now, not all dealers are going to do that, right? We like to be the best priced in our state, within our region, and such. And so we always are very competitive on our pricing and making sure that we're one of the best prices out there. Now, there's some other vehicle lines that get even bigger rebates than $2,500, and that is your Wild Track and your Badlands trims. Those also get $5,000. So it's $3,000 rebate like they had last month. They added another $2,000 in a rebate this month. So Ford is going after Jeep right now. They want to move this inventory. They want to sell Broncos like crazy. So Wild Track, don't forget, standard Sasquatch on these, does have front and rear lockers, has your B-lock wheel on it, 4.7 gear ratio, standard mid package on these. Also standard Haas 3.0 suspension with the Fox reservoir shocks, which we believe is not on the recall. But I'm going to tell you how you can make sure if you go into a dealer that you're not getting a Wild Track or a Badlands or a Sasquatch package vehicle that is not under the recall. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Now, Badlands Edition also has $5,000 in rebates, but there's something special also that they get on top of that if a dealer hits their goal. So I like to tell you guys all the skinny details on everything when it comes to dealer stuff, and something that a lot of dealers won't tell you, they probably keep that, and that is we have a certain what we call built for growth. They want to grow this brand. They want to grow the Bronco lineup in sales. And because of that, they're giving dealers extra incentives if they sell down some of their vehicles. So right now, Badlands Edition gets an extra $3,000 to the dealer, retro back to the first unit they sell in the month, as long as they hit their goal. Now, we go ahead and give that on to the customer. So our Badlands on our website, you'll notice, it's $10,000 off. This is crazy. We have a black one, we have a white one. I am so tempted, but those are two colors that I just don't like. That's just me. But Badlands, 10 grand off is what we have it now. We are including some discounts, but we're including the 5 grand in rebates, the 3 grand on Built for Growth. There's 8 grand right there, plus another $2,000 from marketing, we're discounting from MSRP price. So again, not all dealers will use that $3,000, so just be aware of that. But it's there if they want to use it, as long as, if they don't use it, say, well, are you assuming you won't hit your goal? Anyway, just throwing that out there. Now, I do want to talk about this for a second, though, because here's Badlands Edition, comes standard with the Haas 2.0 suspension, which is under the recall. Wild Track is the Haas 3.0. We don't believe that this is. Now, we know that the recall has to do with shocks with the reservoir and how they're attached and that they're coming off of that. So we assume that's the Bilstein shocks. It could be the Wild Track, I don't know. But it doesn't matter if you just check this out. So look at the window sticker, because one of the things is that, let me back up. Let me turn this around. So one of the things that people may not be aware of is it is not a stop sale on the recall. It is a stop delivery. You cannot demo and they can't drive the vehicle basically, right? And so we've seen some dealers with the Maverick where the customers have done the whole deal and then they couldn't take the vehicle home. So there technically you can complete the deal. You can buy the truck, you can buy the Bronco, you can buy it. You just can't take delivery of it. So be aware of that. If you're not okay with that, because we don't know when the parts are going to be available for these recalls, right? It could be real soon. Be aware of what Broncos can and cannot be that are going to be under that recall basically. So let me show you. None of ours are under the recall, which is pretty awesome. So if you look at the window sticker, you may not be able to see this because it's in a tinted area, but on the window sticker at the bottom, there's a bunch of numbers and letters and stuff like that. But at the very end, there should be a date. Like this says 12/04/24. So this was built December 4th, or at least the window sticker was created December 4th. So we know this was built in December. Did I say November? December. Anyway, we know the recall goes through July 23rd. Anything built before July 23rd for the 24 model year is under the recall. Anything that's built after July 23rd is not under the recall, and you're good with your suspension, so you don't have to worry about it. So luckily, our two Badlands that we have, also the Wild Track, those are all built in December. And over here, we do have a couple more Black Diamond Sasquatch packages that we have right here. Hot Pepper Red one. That one there with the gray wheels. That one there was built in October, and as well as the ones down here. So we have several, right? We have that Black Diamond down there with the Sasquatch package with the B-lock rim. That one was built in October as well. So both of ours were built in October. I think there's another one on the other side. Luckily, all of ours were built after July 23rd. No problem with the shocks. We can sell them. We can deliver them as well. So be aware of that. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that. So if you go into a dealer, you see these huge discounts, they want to sell it. Do check, especially if you're looking at a Badlands, you're looking at a Sasquatch package. Do check that window sticker. Find out when that was built. Make sure it's under recall before you complete your deal. You hate to take delivery or buy the vehicle and then find out you can't even take it home. I mean, how exciting is it to buy a vehicle and then you want to drive it home, right? Anyway, hopefully this does help you out. I was going to do a walk around the Wild Track, but at least I kind of told you some of the details on it. But Wild Track's going away. Not available in 25 model year. So if you're looking for something that, maybe going away, you're like, oh, I can't build that in 25. What do I do? That is one that you might think about doing. There's some other things too that are going away, on some different motor transmission options for you out there. So now might be the perfect time for you to save a lot of money, get a great deal on a 2024 Bronco So good luck to you guys. Don't forget, if you get one of our deals, like I said, I think we're the best price in the country. We've got to be pretty close on a lot of ours. Great savings on there. Do note, like I mentioned earlier, on our website, it does include the Jeep Conquest of $2,000. So if you don't have a Jeep, make sure you add that back on. That's going to be your selling price. There's no gimmicks or anything on that there. Also, that does include $1,000 to get you the Bronco Off-Rodeo. So we want to make sure you go to Bronco Off-Rodeo. We're going to pay for we're going to pay for up to $1,000 of your travel expenses to get you to Bronco Off-Rodeo. Don't forget, when you buy a Bronco, no matter what dealership it's with, you get a free registration to Bronco Off-Rodeo. We want to get you there with no expense as well. So that's something we provide that not many dealers around the country are doing. So take us up on that. Don't forget, we do delivery. We do ship. We'll have to figure the cost on that, or if you want to fly in or whatever. The price, also the price online does include financing with us too, $1,000 for that. So forgot to mention that. So make sure that you're aware of that as well. So I'd like to give you all the full transparency here. But I think that's all I have. Hope you guys are having a great Bronco week. If you have a Bronco yourself, great. Smash that like button. Let us know that. Also, hope you get out there and drive your Bronco. Enjoy it. I drove my Bronco today. I love getting in the Bronco. And other than that, hope you guys are having a great week. And stay positive. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. And have a great Built Wild Wednesday.